So I've got a database of comic characters. Here they all are. I want to add to it now the comics that those characters appear in, including which comic includes which characters. So here's a typical comic, Marvel's Project 2009 number 5 it's called. And in this comic we've got Captain America and Namor, or however you pronounce his name, and Angel is also in it. So let's create a table for this comic. So I'm going to call it TBL Comics, and I'm going to have a field for the ID, auto number field. Got to have that. I'm going to call it Comic ID just to make it easier to link these things up. And unfortunately I can't see the date, the type. There we can now, auto number. So I'm also going to have a comic name, and that will be short text is good. Perhaps a published date, and that won't be short text, that will be a date time, and maybe I'll have the writer, and you could have other information as well. Short text, it's all good. Let's put this comic in straight into the table. So the comic name is Marvel's Project number 5 roughly. Published date January the 13th. Because I said date time, I've got a date picker here. Do I want to click all the way back through here? Tell you what, I'll just edit that. Click out, click back, click the thingamy. What am I looking for? January the 13th, 2010. January the 13th, 2010. And the writer, Ed. So that's the easy stuff done. I now need to do the many-to-many relationship. So one character can be in many comics, and one comic can include many characters. In order to do that, I need a third table. And I'm going to call this one TBL Appearances, so which comic they appeared in. And that's completely wrong what I'm doing there. I need to go into Design View. Thank you. Okay, escape, a little bit of an access moment, Design View. TBL Appearances. And I'm going to have this as Appearance ID. It's not a field that we'll actually use very much, but every record in a table should have a unique identifier. Just the principle of the thing. And what we're going to say, we're going to link a character ID, which will be a number. I think they're all just long integers, to a comic ID, which I definitely know is a long integer because we made that an auto number in the previous table. And datasheet view to save it. We'll put some data in a moment, but before we do that, let's set up our relationships. So the relationship between the characters, the appearances, and the comics. Close. And the relationship is not possible to do just yet. I can see a problem straight away. Just looking at these tables, this table has got a primary key of appearance ID. That's the unique identifier. Each comic has got a unique identifier, which is the comic ID. The character ID, I know that is a unique identifier, but it hasn't got the little primary key next to it. So I am going to open it. What's it? Characters in Design View. And I'm going to put primary key on that. There is tools. Where is it again? I can just right click here, I think, and say primary key. There we go. Go back to datasheet view. Do I want to save the table? Yes. And now that is the unique identifier. So I can close that. Now I can see I've got the little key there. And I'm just going to do the link. So character ID to character ID. Tick, tick, tick. Enforce referential integrity. One-to-many relationship. One character can have many appearances. And then link the comic IDs together. Tick, 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 tick. And what have we got? One comic can include many different characters. So that's the setup that I need. Just to prove a point then, we'll also put an appearance in. So we're going to have comic number 1 is going to have a character in it. Let's find a character that we want. Can we do a Control F? Can we find, oh, we don't want to find in that field. We want to find in this field, find America, Captain America. That didn't work. Let's put some wild cards in. Star America Star, because I think it's more than just America. It's Captain America. Is that the right one? Name. I think it's not showing me all of the information I need in that field. Find next. There's a lot of Americas. Ms. America, Wendigo, American Panther. I bet Captain America was like the first. Oh, was that it? Let's just pick one of these American guys. Charlie America. Captain America. He's character number 2. God, I should have spotted that, shouldn't I? Captain America. Captain America appeared in this comic number 1, which is this one here. And what I should ideally do now, of course, is set up some lookups. So the character will look up which I'll be able to look it up and actually display the Captain America rather than just his number. And the same with the comic, I'll be able to display the comic name rather than just that number there. That's enough.